posted a video last week or whatever day that was, and I'm back with another one. So the video you're about to watch, I previously recorded the same night as the video that I did post. But before you guys see that part of it, I just wanted to make a clarification. Last week in the video that I posted, I said that I was already 27 weeks. I won't be 27 weeks until tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 19th. So in that video, I think I clarified it kinda, but I don't want you guys to be confused. Also, I just wanted to, don't mind my old word shirt. It's very comfortable to sleep in. Um, Also, I just wanted to like show you guys what I was talking about in the video that you're about to see. I talk about the pregnancy test, and this is the little guy that they give you. Can you see that? Yeah, very unclear kind of ish. That's the two lines right there. Yeah, I got this back in March, and I've had it since. And then I just wanted to show you guys a little. This is a little old. This is from the 18th of June. This is my little bean in the womb chilling. Look at her little tiny self. But she in here, feet cocked up, and her arms behind her head and stuff. She just chilling in there right now. I'm pretty sure y'all can probably hear the music in the background, but I just wanted you guys to get, that little update. Um, I'm getting more and more anxious and excited about this pregnancy. And yeah, the rest of it and how I talk about all the rest of the stuff about my pregnancy, you'll see in the video, which will be the next clip. So that way. Alright. Hey guys, I'm back with another video. This video is just gonna be about my pregnancy, how it's been going, what I've been going through, all this extra stuff. So let's take a trip down memory lane. So basically, let's take you back to February. So February for Santos and I is a very special month. So other than Valentine's Day, our anniversary is actually 4 days after Valentine's Day. I tried to make our, I guess you would say, yeah, our first Valentine's Day together very special. So we got together February 18, 2018, which is after Valentine's Day. So we never really did nothing, whatever. So to celebrate this year, Santos. Sorry about that, guys. So, anyways, so to celebrate this year, I went a little out. I made sure I made dinner. I made heart-shaped chocolates. I went in this year. I really did go, and I don't know how I'm gonna top that now that I'm thinking about it. But basically, like I went all in. When two people to get together, y'all know what happens. This is the result, basically. So, I was doing a lot of tests during that time. I was booking a lot of appointments. I went to the OB for the first time. I went to the dentist for the first time in so long. I went to a dermatologist. Like, I was just booking a lot of appointments. And I think it was because I needed to start taking care of myself again, and I hadn't felt like that in a long time. So I just started doing the things that I used to do before. So I started doing all these appointments and stuff like that, getting all these tests done, just to check up on myself, to be honest. And I'll never forget, I went to the doctor. I had scheduled a new doctor or whatever. She was pretty cool, and she was like, "Oh, I noticed that you're 22 and you've never done a pap smear." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." She was like, "So I'm gonna schedule you to come back in to do a pap smear." And I was like, "All right." So that was in March. We scheduled my pap smear. So I actually ended up going to go do my pap smear. I think it was like the first week of March or something like that, or the second week of March. I can't really be exact right now, but I know it was like early March. And when I went in basically that day to do my pap smear, I was like, hey, doc, this is not the first time I'm seeing you. This is like the second or the third time. And I've noticed that my period is like 3 days late. And I've been watching it, like, what do you think is going on? And she asked me if I wanted to do a pregnancy test. I said, okay, cool, I've done pregnancy tests in the past and they've all come back negative, so I wasn't really too worried about it. So, she gave me my pap smear. My pap smear was good, and then she sent me in this room with this nurse so she could give me their version of um, the test. So the test is like this little white test thing. I actually have it. Um, I'll show it to you towards the ending of this video probably. And basically, you take a syringe and you just squeeze out a little bit of the pee. She made pee in the cup and all extra stuff. And then she put it in, and then we wait for it to change. So line one came. I'm like, oh, okay, if another line doesn't come, I'm not pregnant. So I wasn't really stressing it. And then the second line came, and she's like, oh my God, congratulations. Can I say congratulations? And I was like, I guess. At that moment, it didn't hit me. I was feeling like a million and one things at one time. I was like, oh shit, what the hell? What are we gonna do? What am I gonna tell him? Do I want the baby? Are we gonna keep the baby? It was just so many things going through my mind at that moment because it was so new to me. So, I was scared, to be honest. I left there, and when I was leaving there, I called one of my friends, Mo. I'm gonna just leave her name at Mo. She knows who she is. And I was like, hey girl, I need to tell you something. And she was like, you pregnant, right? And I was like, yeah. She was like, I told you, I've been telling you this for weeks now that you're pregnant, blah, blah, blah. All this extra stuff. I was shitting bricks. I didn't know what to do. She was very supportive, and I'm glad, and I love her for that. She's always been that person for me personally. And she was just like, whatever you want to do, I'm here. She was like, don't rush to make a decision. Go home, go talk to him, and, take it from there. And I was like, all right, cool, we'll see where this goes. So I came home shitting bricks, and at the time, we were both still working at this time. He came home, and I'm like, babe, we need to talk about something. So we sat at the table. Right now I'm in the living room, so the table's literally right behind the camera. And we sat there and we talked, and I was like shitting bricks, and I was like, I gotta tell you something. And he's like, what's going on? And I was like, I'm pregnant. And he was like, and I was like, what do you want to do? And for those of you guys who don't know me, I have never been that kind of person. I always said in my back of my head that if I ever got pregnant, I was going to keep it, no, regardless. That was always the timing that I was on. But I was so scared, and I didn't know whether I was going to lose him in the process. I didn't know if our relationship was going to change. I didn't know what was going to happen from the relationship itself. So because of that, it just made it so much harder for me to even make a decision by myself. And in Santos's head, and we've had this conversation now or recently after that, and he was like, he really believed that it was a trick question because before I got pregnant, we had went out into the city one night, and we were hypothetically speaking, and I was telling him like if he ever made me get an abortion that I would leave him. And I think Santos was reminiscing on that moment, and he was like, I don't think I want to lose her. So because of that, I think it just put him in a weird state of mind, and he was like, what do you mean we're going to keep it? And I was excited, but I was still scared, and I could tell that he was scared too. So we didn't tell nobody at first because I wanted to see how long I was, how all this stuff. So then come home, he tells me we're gonna keep it. Now I have to book a OBGYN appointment again for, but this time for people that actually, you know, do that actually do pregnancies and stuff like that. So I went to this. I googled this place in Manhattan somewhere, and I went there. I was going there regularly, you know. I went there the first time, and she's like, "Oh, you're 5 weeks, but unfortunately, we don't consider 5 weeks pregnant." And I was confused about it at first, and then she was like, "Yeah, we don't consider you're pregnant until you turn 6 weeks. So you have to come back next week, and we're gonna check again to make sure that a baby is there." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." She was like, "Cause at 6 weeks we can start seeing the heartbeat and all that stuff." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I went there for a while, and I was liking it there. The environment was pretty cool. My doctor was pretty cool and all. And then they switched my doctor. And I was still cool with it because it was all female doctors there. So I wasn't mad about anything or anything. And then they hit me with a bunch of tests that I had to take and all these blood work I was taking. And I'm anemic. I've been anemic for many years. I know that since who knows how long now. So every time I used to like get blood drawn, I would feel like really wheezy. And because I had to do these appointments in the morning and my fiance had to go to work, he never really trusted me going home by myself. And it was for good reasons because one, he didn't know whether I was going to make it home. He didn't know none of that. And thankfully, his family, both sides, they do live close enough to our house that I would just go stay with one of his relatives until I felt strong enough to come home because I didn't want to chance it and I'd be in the house by myself and I'm not answering my phone or whatever. So yeah, so we took a lot of precautions at first. We at that when we I started doing blood draws and stuff like that. We He started to tell his side of the family and stuff. I was still a little reserved about telling certain people. I told like my brother and my sister first. I told maybe like a couple of friends, but I didn't tell many people. Whereas Santos had already basically told majority of his immediate family, and I had to this day I still haven't told many people. Like that's how real it is, and I just think for me personally, that's just a choice that I made for myself. Um, and basically, what ended up happening was I went in to have a talk to my doctor one day, and we were starting to talk about, you know, the hospitals that they deliver at. And she gave me two options. And she was like, um, Lenox Hill, for those who don't know where Lenox Hill is, on 77th on the east side, and Forest Hills. Now, Forest Hills, for those who don't know, is in Queens. And it's far as fuck in Queens. Let's just put it that way. And I was like, "Miss, you know, why are those the only two options or whatever?" We talked about it. And then she was like, you know, telling me, like, if I was focused on getting my own private room after to give birth in and to stay in with the baby and, you know, for Santos to be able to stay there with us overnight, you know, for all for all those concepts, basically, she was saying um, for me to go to Forest Hills. And I was like, "Miss, Forest Hills is in Queens and I live in the Bronx. And my mother lives in a whole nother side of the Bronx than I do." And she basically told me that um, the best way for my mom to get from either her job or from her house to the hospital if I was ever in labor is to basically to put my mother in an Uber. And I thought that was very disrespectful and I thought it was very rude. And I left. I left that day, and I knew from that day I wasn't gonna go there any longer. So I started looking up other doctors to go see because I no longer wanted to be in her care. Because if you think that I'm going to be thinking about putting my mother in an $80, $100 Uber from her hospital job or from the Bronx all the way to Forest Hills during while I'm in labor is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. So because of that, I just stopped going there. So I found another one. Ironically, I found a doctor near my mom's job. Actually, they're a part of my mom's job company. So basically, I've been going there since I turned 13 weeks. Now I'm 27 weeks. So I've been going there for a little while now. So majority of my first trimester was at the first doctor, and then I switched during the second trimester. So then I did my gender. I did all those ultrasounds and stuff like that. And when I did my gender, I didn't find out my gender right away. Like, I didn't look at the screen. I put it in the envelope because at first I was going to have a gender reveal. Um, Unfortunately, at that time, we had both started new jobs and our schedules were all over the place. And because of that, we ended up not having a gender reveal the way I wanted to do it, which was for us to go to the park with some of our immediate families and basically find out. Sorry about that, guys. And that's not how it happened. So what basically ended up happening was, um, after we agreed that we weren't going to do it that way, we were just gonna throw a big shower, which is now it's not even a big shower, but whatever. Um, so After that, I opened the the envelope with the gender in it. I read it. I saw that it said it was a girl, and I just started smiling and I laughed to myself. I closed back the envelope. He didn't know that I had opened it. He didn't know what day I opened it. He just knew that I was gonna be the one to surprise him. And at first, it wasn't gonna be me. At first, it was gonna be someone else. But then, long story short, he didn't want that person to do it, so I ended up doing it. So I started thinking about how I wanted to do it. I watched so many YouTube videos of how I wanted to do the gender reveal, and basically, what I ended up doing was I came up with a bunch of cards. I wrote on these cards like different hints, and I wanted him to guess whether it was a boy or a girl. Maybe I'll insert a clip of that part of the gender reveal in. So the night before I gave him, we actually like recorded the gender reveal. He had put up a poll talking about the gender reveal goes up tomorrow, boy or girl. So me being the person that I am, I'm teasing him. I clicked boy. He got mad, text me back like, why would you respond? You ruined the gender reveal. Now I don't want to do it. Blah blah blah. All that stuff. I said, you don't know whether that's a gender or not. He's like, yeah, well, I still know that it's more than a 50% chance. Blah 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 that it's a boy. I knew that Santos didn't want a boy. Everybody named Mama knew Santos wanted a girl. He was very blunt about what he wanted from jump. And to the point where I was a little nervous before I opened the envelope that if it was a boy, maybe he wouldn't have been as happy as he is now about it being a girl. And I went to the local department store and I got these Spider-Man socks. I thought it was for a female because it had a bow in it. I didn't realize the bow was a bow tie, but it's cool. My daughter's gonna figure out her life and she gonna rock that. Don't worry about it. And I put the socks inside of this little box, and I was like, "Ooh, this is gonna be such a great twister." So on one of the cards, the last card that he's supposed to read, it says, "Open this box and find out what I am." So I gave him the little box. He opens it. He sees the Spider-Man sock. So he's like, "So it's a boy." But his reaction to "so it's a boy" is so dead that it's like, oh my gosh, that this actual reveal is gonna be so much better. So basically, he opens it. He's like, "So it's a boy." I had another box on the side, And he's like, so what's that then? So I gave him the second box. I said, all right, let's see. So I gave him the second box, and I was like, read the letter on. I wrote a little card from the basically from the baby to him, and he read the card. He opened the box, and that's what y'all seen on the gender reveal part was just him opening the final box. You guys didn't get to see the whole video. Maybe I'll put a clip of him getting to that middle section before I gave him the box. So, yeah, I gave him the box. Y'all saw his reaction. He loved it. He was excited. I got him good. And he's been ecstatic about him having a girl ever since. Um, Now, let's fast forward to now. Um, at first, everyone's like, oh, you're going to be so excited when she starts kicking, da da da. And at first, I was feeling her way before they said that you're supposed to feel the baby move for a first time mom. And I was feeling her like, if, I think after I did that, I started feeling her. I found out the gender, I think I was like 15 weeks, 16 weeks. I don't remember. But I was feeling her way earlier than they tell you you're supposed to start feeling the baby. And I had felt her movements and everything, but it wasn't like strong kicks or anything. I could feel her moving. And as the weeks progressed, it just kept getting stronger and stronger. And now she's in there having a dance party by herself. Right now she's pretty chill. I think it's because she hears me talking. So I think she's just pretty chill. Like, okay, mommy's doing something. Mommy's been talking a lot. And she's pretty chill right at this moment. But let me lay down and not be doing what she wants me to be doing. And she will start having a party in there. But one thing I can say about pregnancy is you can't listen to everybody about what happened in their pregnancy because not everybody's pregnancy is the same. I was really sick, didn't feel good, vomiting all the time, headaches, migraines, couldn't keep food down, didn't know what to eat. I lost like 7 or 8 pounds during my first trimester. Ironically, when I first found out I was pregnant, I was 213, and I went down to 205, so I lost 8 pounds, and I'm 26 weeks right now, 27 weeks, 27 weeks. Sorry, I'm 27 weeks now, and I went to do my glucose test on Tuesday, and when she weighed me, I was 213. So I have not like put on any additional weight other than when I started, but I know for a fact that this baby girl has been eating all my food because I be still hungry after I ate twice. But we gonna get into that. I didn't know like, oh, I was having a boy, I was having a girl before I found out because they had these old wives' tales and they tell you all these things. I wasn't craving like one kind of thing. I was craving everything. Like a lot of people are like, oh, well, if you're craving sweet, then you're having this, and if you're craving salty, you're having this. I was craving sweet, salty, sour, things that didn't even go together. I just wanted everything. So yeah, it was just a lot, and yeah, it was a lot. But now I'm starting to enjoy I've been enjoying my pregnancy. I have because the morning sickness went away and all this stuff. I think my biggest concern right now is starting to become is I'm getting more and more nervous as the days get less and less closer to labor time. And I officially become a part of I think I'm 26 weeks. Let me look at this app. I'm sorry. I have like pregnant brain sometimes. So I literally would just out of the blue just start thinking about something else. even, yeah, I'm 26 weeks. I said 27 weeks. I am 26 weeks today and 3 days. Right now it is 11:28. So technically, after 12 o'clock, I will be 20. Excuse me, 26 weeks and 4 days. So on Monday, I will be 27 weeks and officially a part of my third trimester. Holy shit! Just to say that it's like so nerve wracking, y'all don't even understand. But I'm sorry this video is long, but for all those people that don't have never experienced pregnancy, plan on experience pregnancy, I'm not gonna scare y'all and tell you all these horror stories and none of that. I'm gonna say that make sure that you have a good support team. And I ended up reaching out to this girl from my college that had a baby, and with the help of her, she made a moms club, basically a group chat for just moms. And all the questions that I ever have, or all the concerns I ever have, I just ask them, and it makes me feel so secure. So if you can't recreate a group chat, then find someone that has had a baby, even if you're not talking to them, or even if you beefing with them. Sometimes it be the person that you least expect it to be ends up being the person to save you at certain times. And that is the last point I'm gonna make in this video. I love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and follow us on social medias, man. You don't want to miss this movement, because I feel like we keep this up, we're going to be doing some great things in the future. Bye, guys.